Okay, so they're looking to buy. I'll do my markups later. That's fine. Just wait a little bit, like 5 minutes till 35 past, and then we'll start. Okay. Yes, 35 past. We'll start. So we're waiting like 3 minutes, and then we'll get started. Okay, so we'll get started. Okay, so we could speak about Bitcoin as well. If you look at the 1 hour, what we actually had was like we took just all these liquidity right here, right? We actually went quite deeper. We went into this demand zone right here. Nice tap. We had a DCA at 29,200, which got 250. That got filled nicely, and then price pushed. It actually made a that's like a nice low. If we break those highs, it's gonna be good. But essentially, we just came back into the bullish idea, right? We were long from 3100, I think, and then we DCA, so 29,700 was our entry, and so our stop loss is break even now, so that's fine. And we're aiming for, what are we aiming for? Let me see. And yeah, our ARB spot was posted previously when the premium was like premium, right? Not mentorship. So we're aiming for 31.5, 35, and 43k. And I'll even explain why I'm aiming for these targets. If you go to the CME gap, I think it's gonna be easier to show. But 31.5 is just these highs, right? This high right here. That's or I think it is these ones, yeah. And then 35k is like this right here. We got the CME gap right here that needs to get filled, and then 43k is like just the next major liquidity point around here. So we're looking at these. We could also I doubt it's gonna go to 53K, but we could easily see 35K. 43K is gonna be a bit more hard, but 35K is gonna be it's more likely than going to 20K in my opinion. Okay, so that's that for Bitcoin, and then we'll just do we were bullish in the higher time frame on Euro USD. That's we already knew that. Today is Tuesday, right? So we go to here, and actually EU, when it bounced from this point of interest, yes, it did go below it, but it just was interested to take more liquidity. Take all these lows out. You have like 1, 2, 3, 4 lows, and then you also kind of got a demand zone right here. But I wouldn't say this was a valid demand zone. I don't think anyone would be longing right here. If it would have bounced, it would have bounced from here. But anyway, then you see just that's a good bounce, right? And then what do you have? You have like a break of structure. That's also nice. I actually went in a buy, I think right here, right when we broke that high. But I don't know, I didn't hold that, I think. Or I went to break even maybe. Or I just closed, I don't know. Because I was going to sleep. But anyway, as you see, it was choppy for a bit in Asia, and then I went to sleep. But let's see if we could catch any potential entries, because price action did go quite crazy after just accumulating, right? Because consolidation just accumulating, which means they're just making positions, right? So what do you have, right? You're coming towards these highs. These highs are important, as you guys know. Major liquidity points, they're very important. You have like internal good breaks right here. If you look at the 5 minute, then you see this high is very, very important, as you guys know. We speak about these highs a lot, the liquidity highs. So as we just said, the liquidity gets taken very, very nicely. But you still have that break of structure, so you could look for a potential buy maybe from this POI right there. So let's see what happens. Whatever price is gonna do, it could also easily just break these highs, which is likely, because the price action is bullish. Whenever you bounce like that, you know that the price is gonna be bullish, and it has been bullish for a while. And yeah, like whenever price sweeps liquidity, price should not go back, right? And it should just kind of melt down very, very fast and very easily. But it's not always meant to do that, right? It could also just accumulate right here for like this and then melt down. That's also a possibility, but like price should not come back, right? Which it is doing right now. So now you have that break right there. So that is also a that's like a bullish sign, right? That's a bullish sign you got. And then you actually had a tap here, but that was no break of structure. So we'll see if we catch any entries. I would maybe be looking towards this demand zone right here as well. It's not really an extreme demand zone, but it seems like it's okay, and we'll see what happens once price comes in, because I wouldn't take a limit on this, right? Because this demand zone isn't that really valid. It is valid, but like it's not a limit validity for me. So what do you have? Like you have those, it's actually inducement, right? Price does not tap in yet. That's just forming liquidity to get taken later on. And how do you know this? You like there's a difference between knowing when inducement happens is just simply by trusting your demand zone. And by trusting my demand zone, whenever price does not tap in my demand zone, I think that it's inducement, right? And that's what I'm going based off. So I think price is gonna come back inside the demand zone, right? Because of inducement. And exactly. So what happened? Anyone who had a FOMO, that price bounce, boom, you're out. You got stopped out. So now we want to break above these highs, and then we could maybe see a potential scale in. So what do you have? You actually have the wick, but as you see those candles close above, this is giving me enough validity to long on here. And as well as we had the liquidity sweep before, and this demand zone hold held pretty nicely. So I would like to long right here, right? I would like to long right here. Stops like we could say like 1.5 pip, and then you're targeting for a new high, right? You're targeting new highs. Where could you target? Well, possibly could target that high, but Is it gonna? Is that kind of crazy? I don't think it's crazy, but we could maybe even target for any crazier highs. But I think I would be targeting these highs because there's no point for. I mean, there's not even a supply area for price to retrace from. This is not a valid supply area. It's just a 1 minute, and we are bullish on the higher time frame, so we could maybe look for potential scale-ins. But let's see how this goes. Okay, so let's see. We want to tap it in a nice move off. Okay, that's nice. That's very, very nice. So what are you doing right here? You break those highs, so you could look for a scale-in, right? So what do you have? You have that break of structure. So now you're marking this demand. So let's say you missed that first entry, right? Because it was riskier because you didn't have that break of structure right here. That's fine. Now we're going for a safer entry. This is in my opinion a safer entry. So let's see how this goes. You could go for this stop or this stop. It's personal preference, but I would use this stop. And then you're targeting the same highs again, right? So this would be about 30 risk to reward, right? So let's see if we hit it, right? That would be 30% in one trade, which is it is doable, right? So let's see. This is close to London Open. We get tapped in very, very nicely on pre-London. That's a good reaction. You want that like that. So you have two positions running right now. That's the break of structure you get right here. Now you're moving stop loss to break even. Okay, so you break even on both positions are running, I think, about 7R both. So that's 14 risk to reward. Now let's see. That's a good push. That's a good push. Very, very nice push. You're not getting scared by a small dump because you know that price is sooner or later gonna go to your take profit. You're respecting your plan. And we're also considering the trade hour. So it took 2 hours to hit your trade. And if you took this entry, it took 1 hour. So that's 1 to 30. Let's call it 1 to 29. Okay, let's call it 1 to 29. 1 to 29 done in 2 hours. That's crazy. If you think about it, that's crazy. So that is a trade you could have caught. Simple continuation buys, guys. Simple continuation buys. Let me also post this. This was actually quite a good setup, I'm not gonna lie. Should be like this, right? And we'll have this like this. Is that more seeable? I don't know. Then we'll write plus 29 R. That's crazy long as well. Imagine we caught that. That's crazy. But yeah, so that's plus 29. We'll keep this for reference at the end of the day to see how much risk to reward we would have been gaining. So we could actually just write plus 29. That's also fine. Now we could delete these. So essentially, what do you have now? You have these highs taken, but you're still bullish, right? Because if you look at the 15-minute time frame, we broke those highs very easily and price is just continuing to go higher, right? So what you're looking next is just simply whenever this happens, I usually try to mark out my 15-minute demand zone, which is gonna be let me delete all this, by the way. Your 15-minute demand zone, if you look at here, you don't want to take the extreme because I doubt it's gonna go to the extreme. Because your extreme would be here, but I don't think it's gonna go here. But thinking and looking at this, I would probably take, a 5-minute zone maybe. Let's see. You could. What the fuck? You could take this zone, for example, or take this one below. It's really personal preference, but you're just gonna mark this zone out for potential holding, right? So this zone should hold in your eyes. So what are you gonna do? You're just gonna look at the 1 minute for continuation bias, and if a retracement happens, then you're just gonna, what is it called? You're just gonna wait for this zone, right? So you're just gonna keep on having these continuation buys if they happen, because sometimes price is not retraced, and then you're just left behind or whatever. So you would now be looking at this area. So you're just gonna adding POIs until price. Well, whenever price, let's say for example, it takes my POI 4 hours to hit, I'm not limiting that. I want to limit in like maximum 1 hour, most likely in the same session at least, and preferably in the same hour, because if not, then like for example, price already like about 20 pips from my entry, that's gonna be very hard to hit and respect, right? So I expect price to respect my POI this one right here, the 5 minute POI. So let's see how that goes. So exactly as you guys can see, we have that respect of our POI. Now, this tap in doesn't seem the best for me because if you look at it, well, first of all, you gotta break those highs, right? So first of all, you gotta break those highs because that's gonna show me that the bullish momentum is going on. But if you see like these lows, they're just very weak in my opinion, and it's not a full tap in deeply in my demand zone. So I expect price to retrace a little bit, and then we could see some possible buys, right? So let's see. Okay, so now what do you have? You have that chalk right here to the downside, right? And then you have the one to the upside, right? So you could market this area right here for your interest if price tends to ever come back. We set a limit and then we'll see about that. But we're looking at this high to get broken now because it's a very important high, right? So let's see. Boom, your high gets broken, comes back, breaks very, very nicely. And what you're looking at is, you wanna see what's gonna happen. So let's see what happens. Boom, break of structure right there, as you guys can see. So now I'm looking to buy from this point of interest, and I could mark it up like this, a little bit big, and then we could see what price does, right? And you could possibly set a limit right here, like about this, not about this, about this, and then your stop would be below. You could take these lows, which is fine, and then you take profit. You could target these highs because you're looking for that continuation buy, right? So let's see what happens. And I think this was a setup I took myself. I think it was, but I took it on market entry. So what I did was I waited, right? Price came in, and I missed this portion, right? I missed this, and then I saw the sweep of that low, right? So what did we have? We have that sweep, and then once I saw this candle, I was in straight. And then so this is your entry right here. So I was in right there after that sweep, and I was targeting. I wasn't targeting that high. I was targeting this high, right? So that got hit. And my stop was tight. My stop was like this, right? And my stop take profit was this. So it was a 1 to 6, 1 to 5.8 ish. I was risking 2%. I actually got a 1 to 5 out of it, which is fine. But yeah, let's see what happens if it price will hit my TP, right? But of course you can take partial right here or even a partial right here. If you look at this, this is more interesting to take, but we'll see where price goes. You also have these double tops, which is gonna get taken sooner or later. But if you're a scalper, then I would have closed 100. The reason why I took take profit right here because it was late. I took the entry at 6 p.m. and it was about 7:30 p.m. my time, and New York closed at 10 p.m. So you only got 2 hours left, and I doubt price is gonna do anything in those 2 hours because there's low volume anyway. So I closed. Price ran a little bit up, I think. So price running nicely. Could also close on this high, but is it gonna reach that? We'll see. But yeah, I would have closed because the trading hour is not the ideal performance at this point. It's a little bit too late, right? So yeah, as we can see, yeah, there's rollover. So as you guys can see, volume just died off simply. So yeah, let's say we close it right here. That's a 123.6. So that's gonna be 32 risk reward to 32 R. So that's crazy if you think about it. 32 R by backtesting. I mean, that first trade was crazy though. That first trade was real nice, but this is what did. I mean, so we took this entry, but we didn't take the other one on the live account, right? As you guys can see, where's my trade? This is the same setup, right? The same tap in, literally the same, right? This is just the same. If you look at it, this is yeah, it's just the same. And my TP was 705, yeah, 705. So yeah, that was my stop was 2 pips apparently. Yeah, so my stop was 2 pips. Yeah, I had this stop. Yeah, I remember now. I didn't have this. Had this because I was risking 2%. I wanted to go for a big R, right? And this was riskier, but I said it is what it is, right? and I actually I made around I made around 9%, 9.8%, something like that. 9.5%, something. Yeah, it's like a 9.5. It's four. Yeah, it's 4.7k, so that's like 9.5k. But yeah, 6.85 R. That's about 1.5% risk, I think. Yeah, but yeah, that's EU for today, right? That was a good session actually. So now, if you look at Asia, what we're expecting for Asia to do, we have our interest at this 5 minute POI. I would like this high to break specifically. Now, we're gonna mark this liquidity. You have liquidity like this, so that's also something to keep in mind. I mark it like this. What is this bullshit? We have liquidity like this, so you're gonna be careful. We're gonna see what happens. I think uh I think we'll see like accumulation like yesterday night till like 4 o'clock, and then we'll see some movement. Yeah, that's it. That's it for the back testing. If you guys want, no, I don't think we should do any other back testing at the moment. If you guys want, we could maybe. There. I'm confident to take limits. Bro, just whenever price is not too far off your entry, right? So like, for example, with this limit I took yesterday, right? Where is it? Let's go in the 1 minute. So the limit I took right here, right? I didn't take a limit, but I took a limit on the back testing, and it took about um, where the fuck was this, bro? Why am I looking at Friday? So it's Tuesday, right? So this trade took about how many minutes to hit? Yeah, so it was like this, right? This was a trade, I think. Yeah, this was a trade. So it took about, you know, 2 hours, which is okay because it was just lunch break. Lunch break is 5 and 6 p.m., right? And Belgian time, which is the lunch break of New York. And then market opened. So essentially 1 hour passed by and I was still confident, but I took market entry myself. And that's also the reason because I was not I was not I was gonna wait for a reaction, which if I did a limit I'd have better entry, but this was more confidence because I could have taken a tighter stop. As you guys seen, that 2 pip stop. That was good because that made me make 9.5%. That one, my stop was like this. My entry was like this, and then my stop was, yeah, it was below that wick, right? So it's just taking limits, and it gotta be in the same hour, at least 2 hours. If it's London open until 11 p.m. a.m., that's okay. But you don't want to see price run 20 pips and come back, right? Because there's gonna be a sharp move down on the 5 minute, and that's like not good. You want to see price come slowly down, like consolidation, slow accumulation. Because essentially, what a real demand zone. You know what a real demand zone is? I'll explain this. I don't think anybody explains it like this, but if you think about it, whenever a bank has to buy a certain pair, right? They have to buy and they have to sell, right? I don't know why, but it is true, right? They have to buy and sell at the same time. I don't know why, but it's just true. So what they do is they buy right here and then they sell right here, right? At the same point. So what they do is they let price run. So they are in a loss whenever the price goes high, but they are also in profit whenever the price goes. But the banks, they don't want to hedge, right? The banks want to make money. So what does a bank do? The bank makes the price go back to your demand zone, which is the institutional zone, which is the footprint, right? This is your demand zone. And what does price do? The banks, they make their price their entries come back to break even. They close their sell positions and then they go with their buy positions, meaning that They just shift market back to their entry, which is our 1 minute continuation model. As you see here, they just come back, they close their sells, and they keep their buys, and they go up. That's simply what a demand and a supply zone is. This is the footprint of a bank, right? Because if there was no footprint, you would never know this, right? So that's just the reason why a whole demand zone would work in the first place, or a supply zone, right? So this is why you're gonna be more confident, because whenever you're buying, they're selling to you. I mean, they're also buying with you, but they're selling their positions to get out at the price you're getting in. So yeah, that's actually okay. I hope that made sense. Should make sense, but yeah. For the rest, make sure to watch all these videos, guys. Some of it are short, but they're just straight to the point, right? You want to go straight to the point. Same with backtesting, like telling you how to backtest doesn't take 5 hours, right? But these bonuses, like this live stream is gonna be in the bonus, and then other things are also gonna be in the bonus. These will come over time, right? And it'll be worth to your payment, right? And if you took this Bitcoin entry, you're banking right now. Bitcoin is making a nice run, and ARP as well. We called ARP like maybe 2 weeks ago on the release. When did ARP get released? So let me look at the 1 day candle, right? So we bought ARP around here, right? So it's been about a week or two. Yeah, about a week or two. So yeah, that dump is crazy though if you think about it. Like, imagine you sold here after the liquidity sweep. That's crazy. That's like 10%. Simple liquidity sweep as well. Then I had this one, Solana. I didn't share with you guys because I forgot simply. Somebody asked me in another server, what's your buy zone on Solana, right? And then I simply showed him this demand zone. What is that, 21 hour? The 1 minute continuation demand zone, I'll show you guys. It's like a little server they have where I'm just an analyst. So, add this zone, breakout structure with this demand zone. Simple tap in, and as you guys can see, like these wicks are tapped in, so these wicks, they're tapped in. This was my zone. Price comes, taps in perfectly. That's actually a crazy tap in as well. Just a straight wick and it goes up. Probably with my buy orders, what I'm saying? No, I'm joking. But yeah, that was a good buy, and it went up 6% after that. I took them and I sold at 6% profit. That was okay. Made like 1,200, so it's not a big deal. With anyways, if you guys want me to do anything else, you can tell me. If not, I'm just gonna hop off. We'll do this every day, about every day. Backtesting the previous day, because this also allows you to. Whenever I'm gonna be trading tomorrow, I already know 100% what happened yesterday. So you almost don't even have to mark out any zones where price could bounce, because you know them out of your head, because you've been backtesting and you've been into price so much, right? But yeah, either way, if not, that's gonna be it. All right, then thank you guys for the comment, and see you tomorrow. Okay.